Hi, I'm Matt Elwell of the Elite Closing Academy, and in this video we're going to cover the 5 key things that you must do when cold calling. Cold calling is, without a shadow of a doubt, not for every business out there. So if cold calling works, then you must listen to what I'm about to tell you. There are 2 phases to a cold call over the phone. Phase number 1 is, wherever possible, you must find out the person in the organisation who's responsible for what it is that you do. Let me give you an example. Just on Friday, I was working with a small sales team who are in the dance events industry in the UK, and a very well known chain are the biggest sponsor of dance events in the UK. So I said, I'll demonstrate how this works. So the first thing I did was call head office, this is phase 1 of a cold call, and asked the following question. Who in your organisation is responsible for sponsoring events with 20,000 of your perfect customer there? So that's phase 1. And by loading so much of a benefit into the question, it's called a seesaw. By loading a seesaw into the question, it gives a massive incentive for whoever is answering the phone. In this case, it was a standard gatekeeper. Now, this particular company had a we don't give out names policy, which is fine. With a little bit more pushing, I was able to find out the department that was responsible. Once I got the name of the department, I was able to go online and find out the head of the department, and then that enabled me to have what is known in phase 1 as the man. The man or woman stands for money, authority and need. Who in the organisation is responsible for what it is that you actually offer? Who has the budget for it? Who's got the authority to say yes or no? And who has the need? So that is phase 1 of the perfect cold call. You must find out who it is you need to speak to within the organisation. So phase 2, once you get through to that person, what do you say? Now, on Thursday last week, I was working with 7 sales people within a team, and they have lists, they've paid for lists with the man's name on it, and often actually get through to the man. What do you think when we did some live role play and said, right, what do you actually say when you get through to people? What do you think these listeners could hear? Well, let me tell you, it sounded more like a flight attendant on an aeroplane than what I would class as a cold call. If you're listening to this, and when you do get through to somebody, you've got this big long spiel, and it's all said in a sort of monotone like this. Hey, we are specialists in productivity and cost effectiveness, and we can increase your cost effectiveness and productivity, and would like to come and talk to you about, if that's you, those days are over. You have to listen to what happens next. You have literally just a few seconds, first and foremost, to not sound like a salesperson. You have just a few seconds to sound purposeful, professional and persistent. Just a few seconds. So it's really important that you get the next 5 things nailed. So the first thing you must do is set your intention or state your purpose. Remember, at this stage, the person answering the phone is a complete stranger to you, and vice versa. So the most important thing is you must set your intention, state your purpose. You don't know me. The reason why I'm calling today is to set an appointment with you, and you must transition very quickly into number 2, which is make a huge statement. So in my case, I'm very much like, hey, you don't know me. The purpose of today's call is for me to send you some free information about sales training. The reason is, when people work with me over 12 months, they increase sales by 64%. That's the second part, huge statement. Number 3, position your price. For as little as a few £100s, you can have exactly the same. And then number 4 is ask a question that's linked to problem or to problems or challenges that's linked to number 2, your huge statement. So in my case, it would be, let me ask you a question when it comes to your sales process, and in particular, closing more deals within the team? What's your biggest challenge right now? You get those 4 questions in, and that's what we call the cold call platform. Try it. Please try it. You will be amazed when your prospect is talking about themselves and it's all about them because you're asking. That's when the sales process has begun. You must look out for it. And then point number 5 is close the logical next step. It might be, look, let me just send you something while you're on. I'm going to text you something now. It's a free download. In return for their email. Remember, always capture people's information. And never ever ever leave it where you don't have their number or an email or a way of getting hold of them. But you must close. There must be a reason. There must be a logical next step. A time when you're going to call back. Something needs to happen. You're going to send them something. And that is number 5. If you enjoyed that video about cold calling, then click on the link below, eliteclosingacademy.com. There's a video series to help you close even more deals and go from cold to sold. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ping the notification bell, and you get a free training every Tuesday at 5 p.m. And don't forget to watch more video. There's loads in here now for you.